Welcome. This is Crimey Queen. If you are joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we excited about love. This is where we ignite that which dwells from within us, that which comes alive, makes us smile, makes us laugh. Hence we say the crimson light is life. Of course, we are not only laughing and smiling on this channel, we are also growing to actualize self-love. We do this through numerical values of words, understanding their function, their play out, their structures, and how they operate in our lives. By harnessing on these structures, we are able to make better decisions. We are able to embrace life more fully. We are able to be more conscious of our actions and in turn of the other, more empathic of others as well. And so there's lots we are learning and doing on this channel. So thank you for stopping by. I hope you are enjoying this process with me. All right, so we are doing our continuing our presentations with number 9. We know, or we've learned, and we know this, particularly mothers, we know that the number 9 is really a number of birthing newness. It's a number of life. It's a number that brings out not only newness, but it helps us to understand the process of growth. It helps us to understand where we are, where we have been, and where we are going. It gives us a sense of purpose in actual fact. So, number 9 is really wonderful. We see that with number 9. Where, for instance, it also depicts the Last Supper with Jesus Christ and the disciples. Of course, we see that the number 13, and has this pattern. It holds a certain pattern, but although that pattern looks like 13 or it is 13, it also embodies the newness of number 9. Hence, with my last presentation, we see how 13, THIRTEEN, when we do the numerical value for the word 13, how it comes to number 9. But we not only do that, we see how 13 comes as 1 plus 3. When we add 1 plus 3, that equals 4. And we see how 4 plays out as well in this function here of the sacrifice template, which equals 6 here. In fact, it also reflects Mother Eve with the E right here, EVE. It's like telling us or showing us the path we are about to go through. Now, that also reminds me of something I have said a few times, that I believe a lot of Jesus Christ's teaching was about teaching about mother's love, about mother is love. And we see in this block of 369, of course, which equals 9. When we add these digits together, 15 and 3, 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. We see here that there is a degree, I will say, with the REV here, it's as if there's a degree of reverence to acknowledging Mother Eve right here, or whether it was RE, it's like saying that's regarding that 4, the value of 4 here, and as I have showed 4 in 13, it's like if we were to put two dots here, it would be saying regarding 4, or regarding elation, regarding the rise of Christ, if you like, the rise of the Spirit of Christ and the rise of Mother Eve, which is what we have suppressed. And now I am believing that we need to be acknowledging that. Hence, we can see that 6 here is that which we are. There is, so we can always see the mirror likeness of ourselves right here with Eve. 3 5s here, 15. That is the Eve spirit right here in this number 5. This is where Mother Eve, of course, initiated eating of the fruit. becoming wise and showing that wisdom and teaching of her husband, do we really think that the tree of good and knowledge was not to be at all, according to the story, at all interfered with? Do we really believe that? We learn a story, and that story is there to teach us. And in that story, we need to extract the moral values or the moral teachings of that story that would serve us to helping us evolve as more conscious and spiritual beings, and to become better expressions and versions of ourselves. So we see, even with that story, how we have been taught to see Mother Eve as the bad one, or and here it's in that seed of that teaching that I am believing that we learn to suppress that which we are. We learn to suppress, we learn to hate, we learn to detest, we learn to have shame and guilt of that which we were taught, or through that which we were taught. Hence, now we see through this template, we are able to see that the story of Christ, which is the reverse or the flip side of the coin, when we do the numerical values for the word Christ, or we do the numerical values for anything to do with Christ, we see a pattern is has developed or evolved in complete synchronistic elements of function with that action of Mother Eve having eaten of the fruit. Okay, so there we are. We see there's water. We do call water into action. We use water as an instrument to show us the transparency of those teachings that we need to see. It's like the first verse of the scriptures, or second verse, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the deep, and of course the waters were divided from the waters. So hence we are hinging on to water. There we see with the word water. In fact, I'm not sure if I did this before, but I have just observed it now, that the W, which is said to be ending, which denotes end, or when we do the numerical value for ended or end, it's 5, and that 5 is Mother Eve. So we see here there's a 9 for no 5, sorry, 5. The W, or 5 equals the W as it will here, and the R equals 9 as it will here. So basically we see that follows, goes in line, perfect line with when, oh, I have just seen something else. I might have seen this before, but this is just really delicious. And I'm holding on to this thought. Yeah, there we see that 5, when we learn that God said, I am the beginning and the end. So we see that here is end and here is beginning when we do the numerical values for the two words. But putting this aside, I also have spot this pattern here, and I am not sure I saw it before at all. This is the word 8, and perhaps that is why I had this notion or inclination to shift the word water and have it centered to what it was before, which was hair. So the word water had started here, but I had this inclination a few days ago to center the word water. Now we see that that T is going in direct correlation with where Eve ate. The word ate is the past tense of eat, and that's what we learn, that Eve ate of the fruit. So we see the initiation of water, meaning Eve is the waters, WATERS. Of course, the S is that which comes like the 5 as well. So there we see in this block, which is of 3, that block which comes to 6, that RIF, there is an open I right here. So we see with that open eye, Eve ate. It's like nailed it in that sense of saying, yes, I've got it. Now I see it. Now I understand it. Now I digest it. That is that T. When we say we nail it, it looks like a nail, and let's use that. Okay, so we see the A, which comes into that presentation or representation of the two. So there was an agreement. Hence, we are learning about the agreement with the serpent. Of course, that's after one had done all their jazz, because the S, when we do our jazz, we carry our jazz with us anyway. So Eve had already done the jazz. And the J, of course, is also looking like the T hair. It's the E that looks, we have the A looking like, of course, is A, T hair, and the S would be that which we could put as, of course, E. All right, but not to stretch this at all, because we can see how succinct this is working out. And when we add all this together, of course, that's how we have this number 6. We can see 6. The mouth is 5. This number 6 is that wholeness of that which we were created. So we can see that wholeness is quite present here. So that has just come to mind. Hence, we could say, and we see again, that water is life. When we add these 5 and 9 together, that gives us 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. It puts us directly in this column again. When we add this numerical value of the word 8, because that's what all this trouble that we learn of thousands of years have come into play. And it's as if one can take into consideration the essence of the story, in the fact that when you tell a story, of course, and you want that riddle, the story is only as delicious as the twist that that it entails. So there is no end to that story, and so no one is really, or you have to be in the know, and you have to perhaps make vows not to vouch the essence of the story, and just to keep it going alive. And the and some people will think, okay, I give up, or I can't be bothered, or they have had enough, and that's enough to keep them going. But here numerology is offering us a deeper insight to the layer, and to unlock that aspect of the story of Eve and Adam, and on Eden, the story of the Bible, basically. So I am really enjoying this hair, and but the purpose of this presentation was to really highlight how another aspect of number 9, and how 9 plays out in our lives. But I'm thinking, because I want to keep these not too long. So when I say too long, I mean just keep them short, because that's the intention, and I think this is really going quite well. So let's keep this together, and do join me on looking at generation, because generation is another word that I found very interesting, that coincide, as I say. 5 and 9 is 14, and 14 is in fact, generation comes to number 9, meaning that is another beginning. So we have beginning and end, and this is how we're going to look at this. So thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this, and this is like an eye open. And when our eyes open, that we know we are initiators, we are creators. Creators is 9. Thank you. Do join us on other presentations. We have many things that I think you will like. So because we are growing, and it's not only about liking, but really getting to understand the essence and function of those numbers in our lives. Do like, subscribe, Be a field because we are planting new seeds, and share because this is how we do it. We share to actualizing self love. Stay blessed, stay bright, be a field, be ignited. As I say, we are planting new seeds. Namaste and spill over with love.